Johan Mutsonia, good morning. I was at an event last night, the Connect e-commerce summit. It was absolutely fantastic. A whole bunch of people was there. I would like to say thank you to Google for the awesome gifts and stuff, and to all the presenters and all the guys who make it happen. It was absolutely fantastic. And a lot of things we talked about before and as we networked was covered during the presentation. So I'm going to give you my 7 key takeaways from, it was last night, yesterday afternoon from 2 o'clock until 7, 8. So I'm going to give you my 7 key takeaways from the e-commerce summit. So here it is. The first one, and I've been talking about this for quite some time, and if you come to my digital marketing seminar, you'll actually experience it as well. And I've got a self-proclaimed world record, so I can't verify this, but I'm the dude in the world that's asked the most people to get married. It's over 8,000. So I've asked over 8,000 people to get married, and it's around one single thing. So if I had to ask you to marry me, what would you say? You'll say no. Why? There's one reason. It's trust. You don't know me, so how can you trust me? So that's a critical, biggest thing, and we're seeing it over and over with all the campaigns and all the companies that we run. You need to have a campaign right on top, and that campaign does one thing. No, it does actually 2 things. The first thing it does is it creates awareness in the market that you're actually there. People don't know about you, they can't buy from you, so that's the first thing. You need to create that awareness. And with that awareness comes the trust, right? So that people can know about you and trust you and like you. Brian Tracy says it best, people buy from people that they like and trust. And that's the first thing you need to put in your business. You need to put that campaign in. And it's like an awareness campaign and a trust campaign. So that not necessarily a like one, but a trust and awareness one. So that's the first one. The second key thing is the user experience. So you need to go through that whole thing. And it's not just one thing, it's the whole thing. It's from the moment they land on the page on a website, if they go to a landing page, when they get the email, when somebody picks up the phone and talks to them, when you send a proposal, when you do a follow-up, all the emails, all the WhatsApps, all the SMSs, it's the whole thing. It's not one thing, it's the whole thing. And I've been talking about the whole thing for years, which is now really coming to light. People talk about the whole experience, and the reason it's the experience is because the market is becoming commoditized. So there's a lot of, and this is the thing that I also so just the market is becoming commoditized. So if you're just going to sell a product like this, and I'm not saying I'm Batman, no confirming, no denying. If you're selling a commodity, how are you going to differentiate yourself? I was speaking to this guy, and they're launching an awesome thing, and he also said they're going to go on price. So we spoke a bit about what are the other differentiating factors that they could actually build into the user experience to take it forward. So that was a fantastic conversation. Next one, number 3, the data and the analysis. You need to get the data and you need to do the analysis. There was a question from the audience, and the one guy answered it this way. He said, the answer, dude, is break-even analysis. I'm like, yeah, that's it. That's exactly it. Now, when we talk about break-even analysis, there's actually a trick in there. So you need to add your marketing budget as part of your break-even analysis. I think most people don't do that. So we've got clients who's investing 10% of their turnover in their marketing, and it's working like gangbusters. When we see people investing at a too low level, you don't reach that break even. You don't go past what I call a statistical significant point. Basically what that means is that if you want to do a business and make 300,000 Rand of sales in a month, there will be a statistical level that you need to invest in your marketing to reach that 300,000, right? So if your break even is 300,000, there's a certain number that you need to invest in your marketing to be able to reach it. With that, you need to define also the sales cycle. So if you've got a sales cycle of 8 weeks, so a person gets to your site, they look at it, they make contact the next day, and it takes you 8 weeks to close that deal. You need to look at that break even, not just for 1 month, 2 months, 3 months, because person close, then you only get the money back, right? So you need to take a long-term view on this thing, and you need to have the data to make that analysis as well as the decisions on it. The number one thing we see is that, and this relates back to the trust as well as the awareness in the market. The number one thing is we're not investing enough into our marketing to make a difference and to make the needle move and the stuff. Clients that we've got that's gone past that level, awesome stuff. It just works. so the moment you go below it, it doesn't work. You need to go beyond it. I spoke to my one friend as well. The Facebooks and the Googles and all of these things are changing. So you need to have a multi-channel approach, and you need to really focus on those numbers, and you need to move the things around to get it working in your business. Then the next one, online and offline. So if you go to my Johan Mouton site, right, you click on the About button, you'll see right in the first paragraph, the last sentence says, offline is still important. It is. Don't just think this is just an online thing. I think we get so pulled into just digital stuff. It's not. It's an offline and online thing. And when you merge these two together, you're good to go. And the reason for this merge is because we've worked with shopping centers as well. And there's a thing happening where a lot of the things are standing empty. So what you'll see is that there's a lot of pop-up type of stores coming through, and the next thing is that user experience. Is when people walk in, they want to feel, I can't show you on my phone, I'm recording, so they want to feel and touch the product literally. So that user experience, and then they can buy anywhere. They can buy you online, whatever, or buy there, whatever the case is. But having that online offline experience is becoming quite important. And then your marketing, number 5, your marketing is critical. You need to go to market, you need to test it, you need to see what works, what doesn't work. Not all of the marketing will work. It's the nature of the beast. You need to go to market, you need to test it, you need to say yes and no, you need to test this one, that one, and then you get the feedback from the clicks and the likes and when people buy. I always say that people vote with their wallets and their clicks. So that's what we need to monitor and see what works and what not. And there's definitive number 6. There is definitely growth in the e-commerce space. Now they talked about that they were going to ramp this. We're not there yet. It's not like this exponential growth just yet. It's still a bit of a nice trend that the guys are talking about 20 to 30% e-commerce growth, which is absolutely phenomenal. But we haven't seen this jump that many of the markets have done before. And then number 7, and if you go to my website and you click on sales funnels, you'll see this. You need to have a sales funnel approach to your marketing. What does that mean? Well, let me explain. Well, the first thing is you need to have top of the funnel. That's the piece where you create the trust, you create the awareness. Then that goes into middle of the funnel. Middle of the funnel is where you identify the guys that's getting interested, and bottom of the funnel is where the guys are really at that point to make a decision and saying, okay, well, let's move ahead. From there, you either make a sale or not, right? And then you loop the non-sales back into your funnel and you push, go through the whole thing again. And when people become a customer, you're looking not just for that first sale, you're looking for the second sale as well. And then we start doing what's called referral marketing and loyalty type of stuff. Now you've got a full view throughout the whole thing, and it's a sales funnel. It's a sales funnel. And here's the thing about the sales funnel. It's posting stuff on the interwebs and the socials and the stuff. It's not working anymore, right? Your reach is not there. You can't be specific for who this is. It's just quite general. So what you need to do is you need to have an advertising budget. You need to have advertising campaigns run and make sense for you and your business. Now, here's the thing. You either have a winner, it's like, yeah, this thing is working, or you have a lemon, something that doesn't work. And your job as an entrepreneur is identify the winners as fast as possible and can the lemons as quick as possible as well. So again, I heard that not all products are made to be bought or sold online, or or even in retail space. Cool. So you need to find those good ones going to work for you, and you need to drop the lemons, and you need to do it quickly. And in that space, that's marketing, because some of them will work and some of them just will never work, no matter what you do. And it's not always a price thing. I think we get so fascinated and so fixated with the price thing. It's not always price. You need to look through your whole funnel, and you need to have people throughout the whole funnel. So typically what we suggest is at the top of the funnel, your budget needs to be 70% allocated there. In the middle of the funnel, your budget will be allocated at 20%. And at the bottom of the funnel, those last little bit of piece is 10%. So if your budget is 10,000, 7,000 needs to go just to create awareness, create the trust. Because if they don't know about you, there's no chance they're going to buy from you. And just because they know about you doesn't mean they trust you yet. So that top part is so important, and it takes a while, right? So it's not like, hey, here's an ad, buy this and we're golden. No, there's a whole thing that needs to happen. And the Facebooks and the Googles all allow us to have measurements in place to say, okay, cool, we want to target this group, that group, this group, depending on where they are and depending on the activity level. We call this behavior-based marketing, by the way. In our automation tool, we call it lead scoring. So we can actually, when somebody enters the system, now entering the system basically means they've clicked through on the top level, we've tagged them, so we've cookied them, if that's a better way to say it. Now they're at the middle of the funnel. We don't have their details yet, but we know they've been there. When they go to, that's the top, and then when you go to the middle, we many times offer them like a lead magnet or just something to get their details. Now we know who they are. And now we've got a follow-up sequence. When I get to the bottom of the funnel, they've been tagged, they've been cookied, and we know exactly where they are in the process. So if you're interested, go to johanmouton.co.za. That's my personal blog site as well. There's a couple of details there. Or if you want me to help you, go to marketingmachine.co.za. And if you're interested in more, book your seat for a digital marketing seminar. It's coming up soon. Have an awesome day. This is Johan Mouton saying, keep on marketing. Cheers.